Welcome back to your award-winning talk show, Agenda Kenya. My name is Jason Yantino. Tonight we are looking at poverty, and we're asking who is to blame for the state of poverty in Kenya. Is it you? Is it our leaders? Or is it all of us? Those are the questions we're asking. Bramwell, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I just want to pick up from what one of the participants there mentioned about governance as a key issue of poverty and not the people's level of thinking, and not that perhaps the Indians are more organized than the Africans are. Now, I want to draw you back to the period 1978 thereabout, when the Kenyan shilling, 7 shillings were equal to $1. At that point, the institutions that supported the poor, cooperatives, were vibrant, and they were helping the communities in adding value to their produce, and their incomes were good, their living standards were better. Now, the issue of governance, when it deteriorated from that period up to this point, without coming up with a policy that responded to the changes in the economic environment, where, as a result of liberalization, competition from those who are enlightened, that have better entrepreneurship, becomes stiffer for those poor. They are producing, NGOs are helping them to produce coffee, etc. and so on. But then when it comes to value adding, those who have the knowledge are the ones who are taking it up from there, and then their incomes remain at that low level because they don't benefit from the value addition. And that's the key concern that the Commission now has, that we want to now look at the institutional support for the poor. What are these institutions that they depend on? Cooperatives, community-based groups at that level. What kind of capacity building can we do for them, particularly in the area of entrepreneurship, so that now we bring them to a level where they can compete with those ones who my friend mistakenly say they are better thinkers, but because they have better institutions.
Let me ask you this, Bram. Let me ask you this. Yeah. How does the commissions, from the way you're thinking, it's like you have a very clear picture on how to fight poverty in this country.
Right.
How does your position infiltrate into government? How does it now become policy? Do you have linkages with Parliament? Do you have linkages with the ministries? How do you advise government?
Now, we, as one of the mandates of the Commission, we are supposed to be examining some of the issues that require policy direction. And a while ago, from the time the Commission was established, just as it was observed by one of the participants here, it has been operating at a low level because we didn't have the kind of infrastructure, the support required. But now, effective this year, you're going to hear a lot of us getting in touch with Parliament.
Do you have a budget for that?
Now we have a budget. And
because there's a time you are not given anything.
Yes, now
2005.
And now we are going beyond 100 million shillings now. We've been operating at about 10 million, which means outwardly that we are now doing better.
All right.
Good.
Allow me to take my next question. Allow me to take my next question from Phyllis Mary, who is a teacher.
What is the government's priority on poverty, looking at the budget, whereby the recurrent expenditure is 70%, while the development expenditure is 30%?
Oh, Dr. Ndambuki, our budget every time is read out, a bigger chunk is recurrent. We're just paying salaries.
Yes.
How are we going to fight poverty with this?
I think one thing to say, first of all, is that we must change that if we are serious for development. Development must be given a bigger chunk. But at the moment, what we should look at is the little we have, what we are doing with. We must use those resources. Well, make sure, as a community, as a government, that we pressure those in charge of that budget to use it in a transparent manner so that we can actually pinpoint what has that 7% done for the people, especially the people who are poor. What has it done? So we must, I think I want to go back to all of us here. What responsibility do you take for making sure that the councillor you have, the MP you have, the government officials you have, does the right thing at the right time with the resources entrusted to them as stewards?
Ken, listen to this.
Yes.
This is about this year's budget. 2 billion shillings was set aside for drought relief. 2 billion.
2 billion.
When you read on the budget again, 3 billion shillings was set aside for hospitality. Okay? 3 billion for hospitality. Kununua chai, maua, okay? Then, as if that is not enough, 3 billion shillings was given to irrigation, targeting Bura, Hola, Kerio Valley and the like. But then 5.6 billion was allocated for domestic travel so that these guys can travel around in choppers and see how people are poor. What's your take?
Shabby thinking, bad thinking. And this is what I'm saying, thinking. Even when we talk about governance, by the way, now we're in the province of governance. When people think badly, this is what they do. They give youth 2 billion and give themselves hospitality 3 billion. Bad thinking. And I want to emphasize and underline, and I'm happy the commissioner is here. If we continue evading the real issues, continue evading the fundamental issues, we will never get there. All these things we are talking about, these are the garments we wear, the outwards, the infrastructure. What the problem is bad thinking. To be able to do this, by the way, you sit and plan, don't you? And to plan, you go through a process. If 1 + 1 is not equal to 2, then are you thinking well? This is all I'm saying. And again, let me take you through history. The reason why, very quickly, the reason why the so-called developed countries developed, at some point in time, you had fellows like Plato who asked, what is thought? And they tried even to answer these questions, all right? I'm simply saying we have what it takes to get out of here, but we must use medulla oblongata and use it well. Then we'll be able to.
Asante Ken. Now, my audience, the gentleman in front of me here, in a lovely suit.
I've been hearing a lot of, there are a lot of questions raised regarding this commission, Poverty Eradication Commission. And incidentally, the very commissioners are here to, of course, to clarify exactly what this commission is doing, although our Commissioner Kiswe is there. What is important for those of you who are not in the know is that this commission is doing a great job. We are in the grassroots. Somebody actually asked that. We have grassroots structures. For example, in every district, we have district poverty eradication committees. And these committees are doing a great job in alleviating income poverty. There were loans that were given, revolving loan funds, which has been in place for a number of years. The biggest thing now, the biggest challenge that's facing this commission is capacity building and also resource mobilization. The government needs to allocate more resources to this body so that it can make a difference in the lives of Kenyans. Number two, I have some beef, of course, with the media people. Why somebody asked, is this commission or not? You know, it's interesting. People are here judging this commission. While the media people, are responsible for it.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
You said that in every village, every district, there is a poverty eradication team, yeah?
Yes.
How is this team appointed?
This team is chosen by the local people. There are community members, 3 members of the community. Also district, can I say, development officers are represented. Devolved funds members are represented also.
Okay.
Now, we are looking at a situation whereby the commission will have a greater role. We create a greater role for the commission so that we are major actors, or rather players in the poverty intervention in this country.
Okay.
Now, finally, I have just a little beef with the media. You are not focusing attention on the issues that matter in this country. That is my biggest problem.
That's why I'm doing this show.
You rather focus on politicians who will pontificate about their nonsense. Please set proper agenda. Help set the agenda for Kenya.
Okay.
That is what.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. The gentleman at the back.
Mine is a commentary. We are focused on problems a lot of the time. Even the title of this show is Poverty. Why can't it be Untapped Riches or something else? That's my question.
Thank you for criticizing me. I'll do that. I'll do better next time. Maybe one more, as the gentleman in a tie behind there.
Okay, I would like to know which mechanism are the Poverty Eradication Committee using to ensure that the government is not locating large amount of money on their own and not enough money for the eradication of poverty in this country.
All right, thank you. Tazim, give it a go as we go to the commissioner.
Who is going to watch the watchman?
That is a question.
The big question. How are we going to, we have a situation where everybody's watching everybody else's back because everyone is concerned that something is going to give.
I now want solutions, Tazim.
We need to find, we have to look at what we're going to create in order to create integrity in this society of ours, really. This hierarchy we've created that has caused extreme corruption, within areas that takes away from the people, who is going to be and take responsibility to make that change? Do I have the answer? I don't think I have the answer. I think it's the people collectively that have to find an answer to this.
Okay.
And people collectively have to start speaking. My concern is that people do not really speak and do not express what they think.
Right.
So we need to find expression.
All right, Bramwell, as we finish.
Right. Now, there are these billions that have been mentioned, that is mentioned, right? Which seems to show that there is some disparities. Now, we are aware that in order to have technical support from any sources, expenses have got to be incurred. Now, and the challenge has been, how well have those expenses been utilized?
But we need to have reasonable expenses.
Just a moment.
Yes.
For example, if you have got to travel to undertake a project in northeastern province, most likely the expenses towards travel are likely to be slightly higher. Are we together? And that could reflect this. But what I'm
depends how you travel.
Yes, but what I'm saying is the key issue here is what impact has that had? And as a commission, based on what my colleague here has mentioned, we've put together what called district poverty eradication committees, which are going to cascade down up to the location level to involve the communities, so that we create a forum for them to come and state the activities that were planned for that particular level. Have they been implemented? Are they having an impact? What are the challenges? So that they state their views as to what corrective action has got to be taken. And in the process, because of maybe negative publicity and positive publicity, those who are not utilizing these resources allocated by government will now be aware that people's eyes are on us. And
by the way, Brahma, does your commission have a timeline? Is it a permanent commission, or you might be dissolved today?
We have we have a 3-year term, for each of the commissioners appointed. For example, the commission is there, and it will continue being there. And next year, you are going to, from now, you are going to hear more and more about it, because these challenges you have mentioned.
All right.
Yeah.
All the best, brother. All the best. You want just very quickly,
yes,
Dr.
Well, I think I want to say this: there's no one person, no one institution that is going to tackle poverty effectively in this nation. And I think even the commission cannot promise heaven to us, because it cannot deliver unless the community does. I think what the community can do is become a coordinating body. But the people, the people's power, people must be empowered to take it upon themselves. Kumlika mwizi, kama, if there is anything that is not happening, it is the community that should say so. It is the community that should take responsibility for the resources, because the resources belong to the community.
All right, Ken.
I still go back to the individual level.
Please give us a long-term solution.
Yes, a long-term solution. And I'm talking about the individual again. Let me give you the example of Chelimo. That young lady, we know she made herself 68 million shillings. What we've not seen is what she had to go through to get to that 68 million shillings. Every morning, most probably, she was running 50 kilometers. Every evening, she was running 50 kilometers. Not because there was the Poverty Eradication Commission, but because something was driving her. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the Poverty Eradication Commission is not doing good work. It's doing good work. We need infrastructure. We need to move on the roads. But the long term and the short term, and the only solution is you. Each and every one of us. A chain is as strong as its weakest link. This country is as strong as every individual citizen in this country. If your key power, as we say, as being given by God, is to run. Run until the whole world salutes you and says, you're a gold winner. If it is playing soccer, play until Ronaldo says, wa Kenya wameamuka. This is what it's about.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ken.
This guy said he's an artist. I want to hear your song because you put it together so well. When I just shake my head and say, who did that?
I want that.
Yeah, I want that, and I'll buy it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And on that high note, we come to the very end of this week's edition of Agenda Kenya. I thank my able panel and my very, very interesting audience for that informative discussion. From all of us here, good night and God bless you.